So this is Steve Garfield, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually why we, so Karen and I, we work at Hubspot. It's Karen, Rubin and Mike Volpe, and we do a weekly live video podcast. We've been doing it for about a year. And we actually don't know very much about video gear. So we said, why don't we start a session at Podcamp? And we'll make all these people come and then they can teach us. And then Steve emailed us and we said, this is perfect. Our plan worked exactly right. Because we have somebody who knows a ton about gear. And so we brought all of our setup and all of our gear, and then you can't see it, but it's all like behind that podium, but Steve brought a bunch of toys. So at this point, do we want to maybe ask people what they want to hear?
Yeah, that's what.
So we have a bunch of gear.
You want to see the toys?
I don't know what's that.
All right, we want to walk through Hubspot TV first, and then we'll go to your
yeah, so this will answer some of the questions about live, I think. So for live, we've used 2 different software systems to stream, and it's kind of just whatever you like. There's a company, Mogulus, which has recently rebranded itself as Livestream, and then there's also Ustream.tv. And both of those are pretty good. We currently use Ustream. I think their private label product's a little bit cheaper because you can remove the ads for basically anywhere from kind of 50 to 100 bucks a month. And so it's actually 2 totally duplicate setups. So we actually have 2 microphones that we put on. There's like a desk that Karen and I sit behind. So there's 2 microphones. One of those microphones goes to a laptop, which is then connected to this guy, which is a webcam. And that is the broadcasting live streaming setup. And then we have a completely duplicate setup with a microphone connected to kind of a standard camcorder, and that's what we use to record. And so you get higher quality of recording in a camera like this than you do off the webcam and trying to record the live stream. And so we like to do the live stream because it's fun, it makes the show more interactive, people can ask us questions on Twitter, but we also like to have the recording to put it into iTunes and distribute it out as a video podcast. So the 2 setups are totally, like, they basically duplicate each other, but there's a reason for each one. And when we first started the show, we didn't have any lights or really anything else.
Actually, our first 5 or so episodes, we just used the little webcam, and that was it.
And the quality was so bad, that's why we added the other setup to do the recording in the camcorder.
So you're all sitting here saying, why are they using 2 cameras? Why can't you use 1 camera to do this job, right? That's the question. That's like a big question. Why can't you do both? So here's the answer to that. When you use something like Ustream or Livestream to stream, it uses, if you're using a camera, if you're using a camera like this, you need a FireWire connection. So I have a Canon GL2, which is a somewhat older camera, and it has FireWire on it, and that hooks up to your computer. FireWire does live streaming on these live streaming sites. Now they've come out with new cameras, like this one that they have right here. It doesn't have FireWire anymore because they forgot that people might want to do live streaming. It has an SD card that you can take your video out and stick it in your computer and then put it on your computer and edit, or a USB cable which lets you copy the file from the camera to your computer to edit, but it doesn't have FireWire for the live streaming. And with my old camera, Canon GL2, it had a mini DV tape. So when you wanted to get the tape of video onto your computer, you played the tape, and FireWire streamed it onto your computer. And so people also use that FireWire connection to stream live. New cameras don't have FireWire. So that's why they're in this situation where they can't stream live with this camera because it doesn't have FireWire on it. So I went into B&H Photo in New York City. I'm like, I want an HD camera that has FireWire on it. And they're like, where isn't that? And there should be, but there's like a minority of people in the market who want that, but the general public doesn't care or doesn't need it. So that's why that's like that.
So if anybody knows of that camera, either existing or will exist,
for under a certain price. For under a certain price, exactly.
For under a certain price, right? So
you can buy cameras for
$3,500. These ones.
This is
it does exist, but.
Can't you buy an adapter for your computer? Like Apple has an adapter for their FireWire, but they don't have enough FireWire anymore. They have an adapter.
But
the camera doesn't have
So the camera doesn't even have a video output of any sort?
You should keep your old Sony Handycam.
No.
People buy Canon HD cameras that have a mini DV tape because they still have FireWire on them to do this live streaming. So okay, let's not get caught up on that. I just want to explain. So go ahead.
That's basically it. And then what you'll also discover, I mean, well, and then it's like get some lights, right? Honestly.
The other thing I think about
because lights will actually help a lot. So I think that the first thing I'd say, if anybody's buying a video camera, the one major feature I would look for is an external microphone jack. So if you want to have like a small handheld thing, that's awesome. Those are super portable. But adding good audio to your video helps a ton. And the only way to do that, because 99% of cameras have a really crappy microphone included. Steve will actually show you some examples where that's not the case, and those are pretty cool. But an external microphone jack. So this is actually the cheapest camcorder I could find when I bought it that had an external mic jack. That was like one criteria. I think it's actually the same one that you were talking about earlier.
Well, I don't have an external.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the JVC. This is about a year and a half old, so they may not make this one anymore. This is the JVC Vario. Some model. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's why I heard you talking about yours earlier. And I thought we had the same one.
I've got the
What lights do you
USB
have?
too, but I don't have an external.
Yeah.
You're not going into the
Nope.
USB.
No, it's right up. It's right up the front.
Well, that's what
It's
mine
an
is.
external standard mic jack. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe they took it off. They've been taking external mic jacks off a bunch of cameras too, which I also find frustrating. These lights we did not buy. We got them for free because one of our employees is a photographer, and then he just had a kid, so he's not doing that stuff anymore. So we stole his lights. So that's always a good thing to do. Just steal equipment. We're good at that. You can buy lights like this through some different audio catalogs for about, I mean, I would say, I think about $100 each. I think I've seen some kits for around a couple of bucks for two.
Those are photographic or video lights. I mean, video lights are
yeah, but you also don't need, honestly, even like if you really just want to get started, especially you were talking about out of your house doing it, just buy a couple decent lights at Target. Like anything you do to put a little bit more light is going to help a lot.
You go to a hardware store and get those with a great big silver things, put a bulb in it and show those up.
Yeah.
Or those lamps that attach to your desk.
Bright, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Lamps that attach to your desk that have an arm that move.
Yeah,
and then
that's
shine
any
those
kind
up
of a desk
to it.
lamp, good bright, anything like that is going to help a little bit. Certainly you can get more complicated like this. We were lucky that we had access to this stuff. The one thing I would say with lights, if you can get two, even if they're both cheap, and you get a couple angles, that'll help you with shadows and reduce all the shadows and sort of that kind of stuff.
Or you could do your show beside a window or outside.
Yep, good point.
I look for the light, like on America's Next Top Model. I also look for the light. Anybody knows what I'm talking about, but if you don't, that's okay. So if I was doing the shoot in here, I just go, this beautiful light with those windows. I did some production at Channel 2 with like the best photographer at WGBH, and they weren't using lights at all. They used available light, and they looked and set up where there was light. So
The thing on that,
you don't necessarily need light.
you do have to be careful on is you don't want to stand in front of the window and then shoot into the window. You want to stand so that the light coming in the window is shining on you, and the person with the camera is standing with their back to the window. That's because what you get is if you shoot a camera into a window, you've all seen it before, the window's really bright and the person's really dark and you can't actually see their face at all. We've done
Sounds obvious, but our first 5 videos all sucks.
And some of them are still online. You can go find them, and you can't see our CEO's face at all, but you can see the Cambridge out the window. It looks great. So it's one of those things, when you're using the light from the window, you want it to shine on you, not from behind you.
You want to talk about some of your gear? You brought some fun toys.
Yeah, I brought a whole bunch of toys. You know what? I want to say one more thing about this because it's really confusing. I talked about FireWire, and so the difference is this camera is this is an HD camera.
It's actually SD.
SD, but it's a high quality
Yeah.
camera, and they want high quality, so that's why they're using this high quality camera. This webcam is a USB webcam, so it hooks onto the USB port of the computer, and they can stream live on Ustream and Livestream via USB with the cheapo webcam. So I was talking about FireWire, but that's when you have a really good quality camera that you want to use, you know, on Ustream. But you don't have to get that. You can just use this to stream live or webcam. Or I even stream live with the webcam built into my Mac.
I wanted to add something to the live streaming section.
Yeah.
This is so that you can kind of live stream if you just have the opportunity all of a sudden. A lot of cell phones support quick.com. It's a live streaming service that you can literally just take your cell phone and activate the little program, and you're streaming online with it. So just a little quick something you might.
Quick.
QIK.
QIK.